YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Crypto J coming at you guys with yet another J Talks Crypto. If you're brand new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well as bell notification. I do my best each and every day to give you guys the top picks in cryptocurrency. Guys, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Today, we're going to talk about some Bitcoin. We're going to talk about some Toshi Coin. We're going to talk about the whole market, guys. But as always, got to let you know, not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. I'm just the homie Crypto J. Just talking about cryptocurrency today. The market, as you guys can see, is still trending sideways, still lacking volume, and this can be concerning. Again, going into a Sunday or a Saturday. Today's Saturday, right? But tomorrow's Sunday, right? Usually the weekend we would see some sell-off, and the fact that, again, once again, we are lacking in volume, right? We talked about the fact that when we're lacking in volume, this actually also means a lack of demand, right? A lack of volume is also a lack of demand. In my opinion, this trend is weak. That's what I would say. I would say that this trend is weak because it lacks volume. And so for that reason, I would say that even though we're still sitting at 84, the fact that we've trended sideways is going to decrease the confidence in the market. And so that's why we're seeing a little bit of confidence going down in the market, because again, it's just a lack of volume. People want to feel bullish about the market, but it's hard to feel bullish about the market when the market's just trending sideways, right? So right now things are still in limbo. Again, we're holding on to this 84 range like crazy, and it's really like in the middle, right? We had this rejection again off the 1-day chart, and here we are again needing to close a green candle above the daily, right? But if you look at our weekly, also we have not broken down off of our trend, so this could still be you know, a situation where we found a bottom and we're starting to recover, right? Still flowing inside this Keltner channel. Interesting, right? An indicator that we have not seen a top to our cycle. Just so you guys could see too, back in 2023 Bitcoin was around like $15,000. So Bitcoin has actually had a run all the way from 15,000 all the way up to 100,000 in like 2025, you know? So all you guys that got in way up here and are like salty, just understand that the bull run really started way back here, and it started at like 15,000, and that you got in probably like way over here, and that's okay. But at the same time, just understand that this correction was so necessary that it's not even funny. Like, we shot up even from November from 66K to 100,000. That right there needs a correction so bad it's not even funny. We were up like 50% in 1 month, 50%. And we've seen this happen before. We've seen this happen multiple times. It happened right here too. Same thing in March. We had a pullback in March. Right here, 2024, and it took time to play out. So again, this is nothing new with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a cycle. In my opinion, we have not topped out of the cycle. We're still moving in an uptrend, but at the same time, we have to pay attention, because if this breaks down, look, because we had that big parabolic run up in November, we now don't have a lot of support, right? So we could break down to some levels of support, which would be, again, down here in the 68 range. And if that happens, then the market would definitely bleed. But again, it would not be the end of our cycle, because we could still find support here and bounce off of it. These corrections are necessary. They happen all the time. You could see, again, it happens here, and it went from March all the way until August, guys. It was brutal. It sucked. People hated it. People were like, oh, it's the top. I remember people thinking, oh, this is the top, this is the top. And every day I'm saying, we're creating a bull flag here. We're creating a wedge. We have not broken down off of our trend. This cycle is not indicated that it is over. If anything, this is looking like a zone of accumulation. I was saying that, and I'm still saying it now. And if we drop down to 68, guess what? I'm still going to be saying it, because all the models are showing, in my opinion, that we are at a zone of accumulation. Right? We're seeing some volatility. Yeah, you can see in the 1 hour, we created this rising wedge. We're consolidating sideways. I expect this correction, honestly, guys, to play out. I don't think that it's going to happen right away. They want you to make emotional responses and stuff like that. They want to liquidate people that are playing with leverage. This could play out for months. We could trend like we did here, all crazy up and down, thinking we're going to break out. Look, every time we got right here, we're thinking for sure we're going to break out. And then look, we drop down. And then we're thinking we're for sure going to break out. And then we drop down. We think we're for sure going to break out. We drop down. But the people that were buying down here, do you think that they felt good buying down here? Do you think that this entry point felt like a good entry point right here? No, it didn't feel like a good entry point down here, but it was a bottom right here. This was a double bottom. So the people that were buying at this zone that was so ugly that nobody wanted it, they actually ended up seeing the most gain when Bitcoin made the recovery. That's why, again, I like to look for this stuff when it's cheap. I try not to buy it when it's way up here. I know a lot of people, again, got into the market way up here, even though we've been talking about Bitcoin, talking about this whole trend since way back here. We've been talking about this whole cycle since way back here. But again, I feel like even if you got in up here, honestly, I feel like Bitcoin, again, is going to go higher this in 2025, but it could drop down lower before it does that. And in my opinion, the people that are dollar cost averaging into projects that they're long on, that the space will be long on, that have shown demand, those people have a decent chance of winning. A decent chance of winning, right? Nothing is for sure. There's no way of me having a crystal ball and knowing what coins will survive. I mean, Ethereum could just completely fall off the map, right? There could be no demand for this thing, and already it's kind of showing that there's no demand for it, right? Even though so many people are bullish on it and stuff like that, people are pushing this price down. In my opinion, they're going to continue to push this price down all the way to like 11 to 12, and then it's going to shoot up. But it's not to say that that's necessarily going to happen. Maybe there's just not a lot of demand for this. It's shown that there's not been a lot of demand for it the past year. It's down 40%. It's creating another bear flag right now. But do I think that people are long on Ethereum? There's an ETF coming out for Ethereum. There's all kinds of bullish stuff. We want to put it in the reserve. All of these bullish things around Ethereum. So yeah, I do think that this price is being manipulated just like the rest of our market. I think all of our markets are being manipulated by these big billionaires. It's retail that's selling off right now. It's billionaires that are buying. We've been tracking it. We've been talking about it. So again, I'm long on cryptocurrency. I'm long on Bitcoin. I'm long on all of these, a lot of these blue chips, not all of them, but a lot of them. Again, I do think that Ethereum is lacking in volume and it needs to see a retest of that 112, 110 range. And then I would be like long on it, super long on it. I think Ethereum could perform amazingly well in 2025 after it sees that correction. But at the same time, I know that corrections are necessary and they're needed. And they're good. They're a good thing. What would be bad is if the price just keeps going up and up and up. That's a bubble. That needs to correct. And when it does correct again, it's going to come correcting down very hard, right? Every time Ethereum's bubbled up, it's corrected down very hard. Every time it's bubbled up, it's corrected down very hard. But look, it's also been zones of accumulation, right? When it's dropped all the way down, when people are saying it's crashing, when it's crashed, right? Look, for this whole period of time, from like 2018 all the way to like really 2020, this was 2 years of an accumulation zone of a bunch of crybabies, of a bunch of people whining about good prices. And then look what happened to Ethereum. For the people that had patience, the people that were just like dollar cost averaging because they actually believed in this space and didn't just treat it like gambling, like the people that actually invested in a cryptocurrency, like those people, look how those people made out, right? The people that just used the dollar cost average thing, the people that were not trying to just time the market and do all these crazy swing trades and making 15 trades a day and selling for losses every time their crypto went down, right? What about the guy who bought the top over here and then he just had some conviction and bought in down here also, right? He kind of seemed to do well because he actually had some conviction. Maybe he actually believed in this space. Maybe he actually saw a future in cryptocurrency. And again, didn't just get into this to make a quick dollar. You guys that got into this to make a quick dollar, you're gonna learn that this market has cycles, and you're gonna also learn that you keep selling the bottom and that you keep selling in the accumulation zones. You keep selling every time when all the billionaires are buying, you're selling, and then you're getting back in once your friend's telling you that he just made a bunch of money in cryptocurrency, and he's going to be like, hey, dog, I made money in cryptocurrency. You can be like, man, I lost money in cryptocurrency. Yeah, I made money in cryptocurrency. Yeah, because he got in at a better entry point than you. Then you're going to get in. Meanwhile, Bitcoin may already have been at an all-time high at this point. Again, back again at the top, right? This is what I see happen so much to people. They never take the time to really understand and learn a market cycle. They don't understand how long these market cycles take to play out. And sometimes, like, it's just a time to be accumulating again, or to be short on things if you like to play with leverage. But again, you're not going to beat the guy who is in the market if you're sitting timing the market. You're not. I've had so many people that they come to me with these big giant egos, and they tell me how there's this amazing swing trader, and I'm a great trader too. I don't know if you guys noticed, but sometimes I'm right about some of these trends. But here's the thing: in a manipulated market, you're gambling all the time. It's not easy for these guys to make money. It's really not easy for these guys to make money. I'll show you exactly what I mean with Bitcoin right now. A lot of these guys, they're swing trading, they're scalping, they're trading on like these little tiny. So when you're scalping, you're trading on tiny intervals, right? And a lot of these people know 84K is either a zone of resistance or it's a zone of support. We're kind of stuck in the middle, right? We either got to break out of this, or we're going to possibly break down from this. So you got a whole bunch of people that are betting both ways, and these people are just getting jacked around left and right. Look at the month chart. You don't think these people are getting jacked for their money? All these greedy people that are trying to play with leverage right now. And then you have retail that's just selling off during this time. And you have billionaires that are buying. You have countries that are buying. You have regulations that are being passed. You're seeing everything happen that is showing progress. And this is exactly what happened in 2020. Right before we had an insane run up in price, we were seeing all this stuff. Oh, COVID and this and that. And what happened? What happened during COVID? What they had to do? They had to turn on the money printer, right? They had to make it go burr so that our market can pump, because we were in such a economic poo-poo. And our interest rate was low at that time, though, right? During that time, everybody who was buying houses at that time, it was a good time, right? And who was buying the houses at that time? Billionaires, right? All these big builders. Let's not get into it. I also do real estate, so I look at this from a little bit of a different angle, but this is how rich people get more rich. Just so you guys know that they're buying and investing in times when there's uncertainty and right before the money printer goes burr. In my opinion, the market keeps dropping like this, they're going to have to lower the interest rate, which in my opinion, that's what they want to happen. And when they lower the interest rate, the money printer is going to have to go burr, or at least there's a good chance that the money printer goes burr, because we're going to have to stimulate the economy. That's the whole point of a stimulus check, is to stimulate the economy. I do think that we're probably going to have to lower that interest rate, and we're probably going to get some kind of stimulus money. I'm assuming, this is just pure speculation, but this is what I think will happen, is that the market will dump down so much, we'll have to lower the interest rates to, again, stimulate loans, stimulate people using banks to borrow money and stuff like that. And then we're going to have to print more money. We're going to have to give these people stimulus money so that they could go start businesses and do this and that. I feel like we're going to see more stuff like that so that we could start more American businesses. I feel like personally that is what Trump's thought process is. Again, maybe that's crazy. Maybe I have a foil hat on, but that's just kind of what I think. Some people think also that is also kind of what's happening, that we're trying to just make the market healthy, because again, we don't want a bubble. We do want our market to see a correction. We do not want it to see a 4-year correction, right? So we don't want it to get so high of a bubble that we need to drop down insanely and then like have so much fear in the market that we're going to be in a 4-year bubble. We need it to have a healthy correction, right? We don't want to see Bitcoin drop down below 68. Some people are thinking that we're going to see a 58 Bitcoin or something like that. If we drop too far below, it could take a very long time to recover. But at the same time, like, there's a chance that we don't even fall down. There's a chance that, again, 84 is a bottom and that we could start recovery. Anyway, This is a Toshi video. I just wanted to talk about that because I just want you guys to be kind of prepared for anything that could happen in the market in terms of volatility. Because if we do need to see more of a correction, it would be necessary, but it would also cause a little bit of red in the market. So again, either way, 84 could be a bottom, and then everything could be green, and we could start seeing some recovery, or maybe not. Right now, you guys can see Toshi Coin kind of starting to see a little bit of green right now. A little bit of positivity. It looks like we could possibly be at a bottom on Toshi Coin too, and that's another thing that I'm paying attention to. Do I think this is a crazy zone to be accumulating in? No, not at all. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. It's not financial advice, but we're sitting on a level of support right now, and this is a key level of support, and we're pretty much, in my opinion, being held up by the market right now, being held up by Bitcoin. If Bitcoin decides it wants to run, we've been seeing Toshi kind of correlate with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin decides it wants to correct, we've kind of been seeing Toshi decide it wants to correlate with Bitcoin. But again, it's good to have a coin that is correlating with Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has historically always recovered. So as long as your coin is correlating with Bitcoin, in my opinion, historically, you have a decent shot, because 100% of the time, Bitcoin has made a recovery from a low so far, right? We'll see if it could do it again. Again, prior results don't indicate future results or whatever, and I can't just tell you that things are going to go up forever, because corrections are necessary. But in my opinion, we haven't broken down completely off of our cycle, and so this is nothing but a zone of accumulation for the projects that I like, and that's how I'm treating it. But at the same time, I understand that if things do need to break down and see more of a discount, then again, I'm just going to use it as that, just more time for me to be able to accumulate. Because why would I not buy when all the billionaires are buying? Like, retail is selling and the billionaires are buying. I would rather follow the smart money, right? Smart money is buying during the dip, and they're not selling for a loss during the dip. They're not selling for losses during the dip. They're accumulating during these dips. They're cashing out at the top, and they're taking profit and then causing fear, and then retail is selling their bags, and then they're just buying at really every level. If you look at the transactions, Ark Investing, Cathie Woods, all these people, Berkshire Hathaway, they're always buying. They're buying all the time. Michael Saylor will buy Bitcoin at 85,000. He'll buy it at 68,000. He'll buy it at 100,000. He'll buy it because he understands he's playing the long game. And he's not investing his entire portfolio. He's not 100% into Bitcoin. The guy has other things that are making him money, and he invests responsibly. But at the same time, he sees a future in Bitcoin. So, in my opinion, I'm doing what those guys are doing. I'm trying to just treat this time like it's time that I could accumulate. I know that I have to play by their rules. They get to dump down the price. It's not retail that dictates the rules. So I don't care how retail really feels. I know there's a lot of people that feel bearish even on this cycle, but that's not really to say anything, because of course you're going to feel bearish on the cycle. They want you to feel bearish. They want you to feel like this is going to be the end, that crypto is going to go to zero. It doesn't go to, bro, this space is not going to go to zero, but it's going to be volatile. At the same time, I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be volatile. Bitcoin is going to be volatile. Like, it's sitting at a 2.76 trillion market cap right now. So this space is smaller than Apple. It's going to be volatile. Get ready. You better buckle up. You better be prepared for, 60 to even 80% correction in a lot of your coins, because a lot of your coins are sitting at small market caps. All of this space is sitting at a small market cap. $2.7 trillion is a small market cap. This is our entire space, guys. So just understand that this is highly volatile. Crypto is highly volatile. That means it moves up and down very fast, right? Volatility is good, though, because you can make a lot of money with volatility. You can also lose a lot of money very fast with volatility. So you have to invest responsibly. I always tell you guys, invest your money responsibly. Do not go all in on anything in cryptocurrency. It is very dangerous. Do not put your rent money in here. Do not go all in at 84. Do not go all in at 68. Don't do that, because you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know how this space is going to move. And, it's better to just in my opinion, what I plan to do is to just put a little bit of money here and there that I can afford to put in when I get paid responsibly, putting a little money here, putting a little money there, diversifying a bag, not being all into one of anything really, right? There's so much blue chips right now that are cheap. It would be crazy to just go all into one thing, right? So I'm picking up things again that I like, that are good prices, that I feel like there could be a future in, because again, I want to be like those guys who were investing in Ethereum way back then. And you know what? I was one of those guys investing in Ethereum way back then when it was $300 and Bitcoin was $3,000. I was right here on YouTube talking about it, talking about how bullish I am on DeFi. It was one of the biggest spaces, one of the original first spaces that I was so bullish in, because I felt like I was late on Bitcoin. Imagine that. Bitcoin was at $3,000 and I felt like Ethereum would have been a better opportunity because I felt like I was earlier on Ethereum. The market cap was smaller and Bitcoin was only at $3,000. And now Bitcoin's close to $85,000 on a correction and people think it's the end of the world. Isn't this crazy? How many times has Bitcoin proven everybody wrong? And so I just feel like Bitcoin is going to continue to prove people wrong. It's going to continue to shock people. I think people that are not bullish enough on this space, they're going to learn that just how small this market cap is and just how much money there is in the world and just how much money can come into the space. Because again, we're smaller than Apple right now, but in my opinion, we have a potential to have a market that is bigger than the entire stock market. So the fact that we're smaller than Apple right now just tells me that I'm insanely early on crypto. And all the people that say that, like, oh, this project's not going to do well, this project's not going to do well, it's like, bro, this space is going to grow. This entire space is going to grow. And all we need is a little bit of money to hit some of these projects and make a lot of money. And so that's why, again, I'm diversifying into projects that I like, that I'm long on, and I'm going to be long on them because I feel like I'm early on this space. And that's why I've been Crypto J for 6 years on YouTube, because I have conviction and because I believe in this space. I'm not here to gamble. I'm here to invest in cryptocurrency, and I'm here to look for projects to be long on. Longer than a month, than 4 months, longer than a year, longer than 2 years. Because I think that cryptocurrency will continue on for years and years to come. And so again, I look at these moments of time when markets are cheap, and I just feel like this is a time to be dollar cost averaging in. Historically, it has been, but as always, guys, past results are not indicators of future results, but it's really kind of all that we can go off of is these charts and these indicators. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, this is not financial advice. Don't buy anything that you guys see in this video. I'll catch you next one. Peace.